morning and welcome to Dominion Sport. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, bringing you all the major sporting stories from the weekend and what they mean as we begin a new month of March. It was full of weekend, full of drama in English Premier League, highlighted by Ferry London derby at Emirates, where Arsenal FC edged Chelsea 2-1. Arsenal took the lead through William Saliba, weathered an own goal equalizer, and then saw Jerome Timber headed a settle and a test contest, all against the Chelsea side, reduced to 10 men later on. The win keeps the Gunners firmly in control of the title race as March gets underway. Closer to home in the Nigeria Premier Football League, Match Day 28 delivered a pivotal result that reshaped the title pictures. Enugu Rangers International climbed to the top of the table with a 2-1 win over Nasarawa United, while Remo Stars FC continued vibrant form with a 2-0 lead against Katsina United. Benjamin Insurance made a statement with a 4-0 demolition of Ikorodu City, and Shooting Stars beat Kano Pillars 2-1 as competition intensifies ahead of the running across Europe. The weekend also saw Super Eagles star shine, MLS action delivered goals, and Champions League knockout stage looming with ill ties set for the midweek. And in boxing, the historic rivalry between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao remains one of the benchmark matchups in combat sport. And about still refers anytime in sport looks like a big stage excitement for the league battles to continental title race this Tuesday morning. And also let me inform you that it's Monday morning. Let's dive straight into action. Top of the morning to you once again. I am Abe Paul Toluwanimi. I'm not alone in the studio. I'm sure you'll be wondering if I have the man who I call the night, Sanuddin Alimi, who will be joining me in the studio. But I have Mabuba joining me this wonderful morning. Top of the morning to you, and how are you feeling?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
Okay,
thank you very
beautiful,
much, Fabs.
beautiful. All right, we're going to start straight into action from the local story. We're going to look at what happened in March the 28th of the MPFL, and trust me, wonderful actions. For you, what was the highlights for the weekend in the MPFL this weekend?
I'll say my highlight was the match that Enugu Rangers actually played and they won. I love the fact that they've actually maintained top form in the league this season and currently they're at the top of the table. And I know that Nasarawa United used to be at the top at some point, but I love the fact that they've actually maintained consistency and now they're at the top. Although River United is second on the table, but then I do kind of think that if Enugu Rangers can still maintain top form, there's a possibility that they might actually kind of like win the league again this season. Okay,
beautiful. Let's just look at what went down over the weekend. Match Day 28, El Kanemi Warriors welcome Abia Warriors to game in the 2-0. Funny victory for me. I was expecting maybe Abia Warriors should do something in that game. Also, you look at Kwara United played Wiki Tourist on Saturday. The game ended in favor of Kwara United. That's still leaving them at the bottom half of the table. Let's head straight down to Sunday. Bendel Insurance against Ikorodu City. The game ended 4-0. Remo Stars finally getting a victory after the new technical advisor, joining the team and playing at the Kenneth Stadium. Must have given them the victory against Katsina United. Also, you look at Shooting Stars against Kano Pillars back to the Lakon Salami Stadium. The game ended 2-1 in favor of Shooting Stars. You look at Niger Tornadoes against Warri Wolves, goalless. Eyimba against Kun Khalifat. Looked like a victory for Kun Khalifat, but Eyimba had to do that one to pick up all the points right there. 1 point for them. You look at Bayelsa United against River United, shocking victory, and Fidelis Ilechukwu's side are getting a victory against Nasarawa United. Let's start off with this victory for Bendel Insurance. Kennedy Boboye's side are defeating a team that would have thought that when you talk about consistency, like you said, they had a team in form, but Bendel Insurance had to nick that one through. Remember, they are fighting for the continental ticket. Talk to me about that game quickly.
Well, you see, I wasn't particularly expecting that Ikorodu is going to suffer this much deficit from Bendel Insurance. But at the same time, I'll say that I was actually very, very impressed. And the result was quite shocking, considering the fact that, Bendel Insurance can actually kind of like pull off a 4-0 win over Ikorodu. And that is not a kind of goal, shall I say, a goal line, or should I say a score line that we can actually see in the MPFL this season. So I'll say that this outcome was very, very shocking, but at the same time very, very impressive.
Very impressive. What about Remo Stars? We talked about them last week with the new technical advisor in board, going back to the Kenneth Township Stadium, also playing that game. They were able to join out at 3 points. It's been a long time we saw Remo Stars getting victory.
Honestly, I recall that a couple of days ago, Remo Stars announced that they're going to be doing away with head coach Ogumodede, and then they announced that a new person will join technical board. And it's actually good to see that the defending champions are back to winning ways.
Yeah.
We hope that they can actually maintain this winning streak and create some sort of like consistency. But they've actually fell off, but it's good to see that they are picking up the pieces and they're getting back in a good shape.
All right, beautiful. Also, you look at Shooting Stars Football Club picking up the victory, 2-1. Let's talk about that quickly. Were you expecting Shooting Stars to win their home front against Kano Pillars?
Honestly, I wasn't particularly expecting a win from Shooting Stars, but I will say that this win seems more like a revenge. If you can recall the match between Kano Pillars and Shooting Stars last year during the first leg, it didn't particularly turn out fine. There was some attack with fans attacking the players. So I think that this win between Shooting Stars had over Kano Pillars is more like them making a statement that they are at home, they can still win against a particular team that tries to destabilize them in their previous encounter.
I agree. All right, that's a stake in Shooting Stars. Also, above of the MPFL table. While talking about the game, also we have highlights for you to look forward to. But before we look at the game between Rangers International and Nasarawa United, let's listen to Fidelis Ilechukwu after the victory against Nasarawa United. We'll be back to talk about the match, the 28th of the MPFL.
That defensive as a team, we are one of the best. Scoring goals also, we are one of the best. We have little issue in the middle. We are still working and keep on working until we improve on that. But I think we have a strong team. You never can tell what is going to happen tomorrow. But for today, I think if Ring should end today, Rangers is going to be a league winner, and we must keep our mentality cool and make sure that we push more forward.
Coach, 5 games, 5 clean sheets. Even without the suspended Iwundu Chidozie, we've seen a very good work from Monday Daniel. But what will you attribute this to? Keeping 5 clean sheets in the league consecutively.
This is also what happened when Ilechukwu is absent. It shows that without me, Rangers will move forward. If the technical advisor was absent and the team could be able to do marvelous well, if the media also are not here, we deliver. Maybe we will do the media job also. Coach, this is just to show you that whether Iwundu or nobody, whether the general manager or not, Amo Bezak, who is the best general manager in the world, but he is absent. We can call on one person to come and stand, and we must deliver.
Coach, amazing game. At some points, Nasarawa United were also a team, but we got all 3 points. That's the most important thing. Rivers United lost today, but they still have outstanding matches to play. They haven't put any pressure at all in terms of winning the MPFL title.
I don't know what every other team is doing. What we know is we try to concentrate what we can do, because if we start doing that, we'll be under pressure. If at the end of the day we didn't get 100% what we want, at least we have proved that we have a very strong team. So Rivers are the best team in Nigeria, whether anybody likes it or not. So looking at what they are doing, will put us under pressure. We are not under pressure. To me, we look like underdogs, but at the end of the season, we know where we belong.
Coach, worried about Jay did not finish the game. What happened?
It's the tactics. The same way Ilechukwu wasn't in all the games. Everybody will not be there. It's not about Godwin. If you look at the midfield, Igwe have started playing. You understand? Wisdom have started playing more than 45 minutes he used to play before. Today is Pinja. Next match, it might be 100% 11 starting new players. And I think we like it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's all excitement from Fidelis Ilechukwu after picking up the victory against Nasarawa United. He talked about concentration, talked about key players and not putting himself under pressure, looking at Rivers United. Let's talk about the victory from Rangers International against Nasarawa United. I remember, Sanuruddin talking about that game, saying that's one game you need to look forward to this weekend, and it gave us an entertainment and full football. For you, he talked about concentration. Let's have the table quickly while we're talking about this game. Talk about concentration, talked about not putting himself under pressure, and also he was asked about some key players not finishing up the game, and also he said some players are now starting. That has given the team more stability going forward. And there you have it, they are top of the table right there. Talk to me about the victory against Rangers International, and also the post-match game against Nasarawa United.
Well, you see, something that the coach mentioned that I think stuck with me is the fact that he's being consistent about the fact that he's rotating the players.
Yeah.
it's not necessary that a particular player plays all 90 minutes. If a particular player plays, gives another player the opportunity to play. And as he mentioned, a particular player was playing 45 minutes before, but now he's playing more than 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But that way he's able to test the strength of his players.
Yeah,
and he mentioned he's not even under pressure. Despite him not being under pressure, he has been winning matches consistently. And as you mentioned, they are currently at the top of the table.
Yeah. And you look at Rivers United for you, they still have games in hand. And remember, they lost their game. It is a tweak of battle for them going forward, after March day 28. You used to see them as title contenders, regardless of the loss and also the game in hand going forward.
I still very much see Rivers United as title contenders. If you look at it, Rangers has played 29 matches, Rivers 25 matches. That means that Rivers United still has 9 points to compete for. And Rangers are currently 47 points, and Rivers United are 46. I do not think there is a possibility of Rivers United losing all three. It is not possible. Although Rangers are very much in top form, same thing with Rivers, even though they lost. But at the same time, they still have the opportunity to actually top the table if they can correct the inconsistencies. They very much have a chance to win the league.
It's just, you look at Rivers United, it's just their third loss this season. Rangers International with 28 points, 13 wins. You look at their draws, also 7 losses. It looks like a top team in top form right now, Rivers United, just 3 losses this season. Reasons why you look at Ferdinand Idechukwu saying, we don't need to look at Rivers United and put ourselves under pressure. Do you agree with that statement?
I very much agree, because putting himself under pressure won't change anything. It's not going to affect the opposing team, Rivers United, at all.
I agree. All right, let's talk about the log of the table quickly. Looking at where Kano Pillars are, Remo starts with that victory, sticking them, at least a drift 18 points, and maybe this consistency would help them out of relegation. I don't know. I'm still of the belief, and I'm going to say it right here, and I'm still going to say it. I'm sure, when I have Asanuruddin come on board, I'm still going to say it to him that Remo Stars are not going to relegate this season. Also, you look at Kwara United, you look at Kun Khalifa, also a drifter with that one. Who do you see actually relegating this season, looking at the table?
Well, as you mentioned, Remo Stars, I do not believe that they are going to, be relegated.
Even before, was it before this win or after the several losses? Did you see them relegating?
It was before this win. I don't see them getting relegated, honestly. I get the fact that they were, should I say, the defending champions. They've actually suffered lots of losses this season. But at the same time, coupled with the fact that they've actually let go of Ogumodede and they have a new technical staff, I really believe that it's something they can capitalize on. I just do not see a defending champion as Remo Stars being relegated. It's going to be a shame, honestly. But of these teams, the one that I think will have to leave the NPFL, it's Kun Khalifa, unfortunately. Yes, honestly, I do. It's quite sad though, but at the same time, I just kind of feel that they are the team leaving the NPFL this season.
Okay, what about Kwara United also?
Kwara United, I'll say that the situation isn't particularly different from Kun Khalifa, considering the fact that they both have 29 points, and Kwara United has had 12 losses, Kun Khalifa 13. They are not in a good position either.
I agree.
The both of them, they are not. But for Remo Stars, I do not see them getting relegated. Although they might disappoint me, but I just do not see them getting relegated.
I'm sure the Remo Star fans are watching right now and we're wondering, how did you switch again from saying they're going to disappoint you? But very, very sure that Remo Star defending champions would escape relegation. You can also join us by dropping your 2 cents on the conversation. What do you think about the match day 28? What game lived up to expectations for you, and what do you expect till the end of the season? Remember, like I said, Shooting Star Football Club picked up the victory against Kano Pillars. Still talking local stories, let me inform you that following an emergency congress earlier this weekend, the National Nationwide League One NLO continues with the old league format. The Stadium League, due to issues like security and finances, the league extend dates for registration. They said details are going to be released soon. Do you agree with the old format to continue with the NLO?
Well, I very much agree with them. I do agree. I get the fact that there's been, shall I say, arguments about the fact that they want to switch from the previous format to the new format. But I do not particularly see a solid reason as to why they want to switch from the old format to the new format. The new format has been working, so I do not see any reason. There's been no, shall I say, reason as to why they want to switch from the old one to the new one.
And also, you look at considering the fact that the finance and also security issues.
Exactly, we do not have that. NFL and the NFL or Nigerian Football League generally does not particularly have the finances to sponsor something moving from what has been working to something new. they do not have really the resources to experiment at this stage.
So you're saying you're not against the new format, but once you put this in place, I think we can move forward with that.
We can move forward with the old format.
All right, let's start tips talk. This is coming from the female front of things, and it's not a good story this wonderful morning, as we see that the family seek 20 million ransom as Oyo government probes players kidnapped. Following the reported kidnapping of Nigeria Women's Football League player Ayitu John, the Oyo State government says it swung into action to investigate the circumstances surrounding the incident, while the family is seeking to help raise the 20 million ransom demanded by the abductors, who last featured for Pacesetter Queens in the NWFL Premiership, was said to have been kidnapped on the Benin Expressway last Friday. We gathered that the club has released and 4 other players last week after the first half of the season. Oyo State Commissioner for Youth and Sport, Wasila Adegoke, explained that the management of the club has been trying to obtain useful information to aid the investigation after the abduction was reported through one of her relatives last Friday. She, however, noted that no concrete information has been obtained, while the family insisted on raising money through the government after the kidnappers reportedly reduced the demand from 20 million to 1 million. I don't know. What's exactly going on with this story for you? Honestly, it's sad. That's to say that the security measures are not tight enough in our country, and we can do better. But the story is not still clear to so many people. 20 million down to 1 million. She was released. We are getting story from the the youth and sports are saying that they need to get a proper information. For you, when you got the story, what actually ran through your mind on this?
When I got the story, I'll say that I was upset, at the same time disappointed, because I got to know about this story on X yesterday when I was scrolling through my feed. And when I did some bit of digging this morning, I noticed that the search had been missing since on Friday, but we're only getting the information on Sunday. And when I checked through the social media platforms or the website of our club, Pacesetter FC, and even the NWFL, they weren't particularly saying anything about it. And I'm concerned that this is a player, a breadwinner, someone who's trying to make a name for herself in a game that she loves, but she's not even being acknowledged. She's in a very, very vulnerable situation. But even a club and a league that so-called claims to, shall I say, support and empower women when it comes to sport, they aren't particularly doing anything about it. And when I read the news saying that it seems suspicious about the ransom being dropped from 20 million to 1 million, it does seem suspicious. Okay. But at the same time, I do not think that this is the time whereby we should start strategizing whether it is a scam or maybe they're just trying to get money off of the government. I think that we should prioritize the safety of this young lady, someone who's trying to make money for herself. Like, let's even ignore the fact that the security issue. She's a person that was trying to make money for herself, make a living. We should ignore the fact that it can be suspicious. Investigations and whatever can come later, but let's prioritize our safety. Then if we realize that, okay, all of this was a scam just trying to defraud the government or all, there are laws on ground to punish people that commit such crimes. This isn't the time whereby even the Commissioner of Youth and Sport will come out and say that it is suspicious. It doesn't give a good reputation of the club, of the NWF, and even of the minister herself.
I agree. Come on, I think I just needed to get a verdict from the woman's side of things, and trust me, I'm wondering why she would need to come out to say something suspicious. I feel the best way you can go about it is to the safety of this lady first before you start running an investigation going forward. Definitely, we'll get more update on that as time permits us. Also, let's move away from that. Let's talk about the friendly game towards the build-up for the WAFCON. We lost to Cameroon, 1-0 for you. What does that state for the Super Falcons going forward this year's AFCON?
Well, regarding this match, I wasn't expecting a loss. Neither was I expecting a draw. Instead, I was expecting a win by at least a 2-goal margin. But then I must say that the performance wasn't what I was expecting generally. But both sides, Nigeria and Cameroon, they did have their own fair share of possessions. There was a level of intensity, and I'll say that the Nigerian defense was somewhat impressive. But I have an issue with the front line. The front line has always been an issue that I've always had when it comes to Super Falcons. I can recall that in the previous match when they played against Benin in the WAFCON qualifiers, Nigeria was a star-studded squad. We had Azizat, we have Rashidat, we have Alozie, even Nandozie was on goal. But against a relatively average, shall I say, inexperienced team as Benin, because we were relatively young, it ended in a draw, 1-1. But while I admit that we didn't come with the same squad when we faced Cameroon, I would say that I wasn't particularly expecting Nigeria to lose. The least basically would have been a draw, nil-nil draw. They did try, but they were unable to just convert the circumstances that were created. But unfortunately, I think Cameroon got the better side of that. And I must say that a particular player that did stand out for me is the goalkeeper that made a debut and Comfort. She made quite a number of vital saves, but I do not think that performance is enough for us to displace.
To place.
Yes, in the starting 11. But I'll say that if she can continue in this level, it might be just enough for her to be the second choice goalkeeper when the AFCON begins. But about this team, about this side, I know that this side was more like a test whereby Madugu was trying to assess who is going to be part of the 25-man team for the AFCON. If they actually want to be part of the Super Falcons, that squad for WAFCON, then this team that replaced a number of our top players for this particular match will have to up their game, because this is not a particular kind of team that I want to face another team in the WAFCON. It is a competition I want to win, definitely. So their performance was average. It wasn't good. But I believe the adjustments can be made, particularly in the front line. But for the defense, it's still good. She needs to up her game though. Like she needs to do more just to make it to the WAFCON. But then the defense, I feel I'm okay with that. But the front line has always been my issue.
I want to ask you quickly before we're going to break, how far can the Super Falcons go at this year's WAFCON in Morocco?
Well, they are the Falcons.
Yes, defending champions.
The defending champions. They've won the WAFCON 10 times. I do not see them getting knocked out in the group stage. I actually see them going all the way to the final, because since we have a person that's Comfort who can be a good replacement for Nandozie, and then we also have these sort of players coming up and can actually up their game. I believe that Madugu can make some corrections in the second leg that we played against Cameroon tomorrow. I actually see the Super Falcons going far in this tournament once more. I do not see them as a team that would disappoint. They are not known to disappoint, but at the same time, I do think that this is a team that can go all the way to the final and eventually win once more.
All right, I'm going to hold you to your word, and definitely I will see how far the Super Falcons can go this year's WAFCON. We're going to go on a break, and when we're back, we are talking European football, where actions, mouth-watering goals were played and scored over the weekend. Sanuruddin Alimi will be joining me in the studio. Do not go anywhere. Stay very much connected.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live like never before? Book the OB van today and take your event to the...
All right, you're welcome back to Dominion Sport right here on Dominion Television. Exciting time to talk sport right here on the go. I have Sanuruddin Alimi joining me in the studio to talk European football and Zero Smiles. Definitely, that's because Manchester United still remains the team unbeaten in the year 2026 when it comes to the English Premier League. But before that, let's talk the result in the Premier League. And definitely, we did tomorrow on the show, we'll be looking at the tables and also other leagues across the world. Let's talk about some of the teams that picked up victory and also the result in the NPFL. But before that, let me ask you, how you feel as a Manchester United fan?
You put me on this podcast.
I'm sorry to expose you right now. How are you feeling as a Manchester United fan?
I'm feeling hyped. I'm feeling buzz. And the buzz from the team is getting to me. And this is what I want to see from Manchester United. This is what we expected from them from the beginning of the season. They have just one game week in, week out of all competitions, possible competitions they could play. And you see them relax for 6-7 days and you get to play again. Yes, it affects their performances somewhere. It takes them some time to get into the game. But at the end of the day, they've gotten the victory as expected against Crystal Palace and on to the next game for them against Arsenal.
The next game, definitely. Let's look at some of the results from the weekend as we analyze that on the go. Let's just check out some of the results. For you, it's worrisome for some teams, and some teams picking up the victory. There you have it, Fulham against Tottenham Hotspur. This is a worry. I don't know. I like to hold you by your word, because I remember you saying one of the wrongest mistakes Tottenham Hotspur have done again this season is to get Ugo Tudor in charge of the team.
Yes, it's evident. It's not one game. This is the second game in charge. The first game was against Arsenal, the title hopefuls. They were dismantled in their home front, and now against Fulham again, in London derby again, they lost the game, and it's not seeming the right time for Tottenham to change coaches. But the form has been there all season long. They've won just 2 games since October last year, since December last year, I'm sorry, and it was in the Champions League against 2 German opposition. Against Premier League opponents, they've not seemed to find their ground, and that continued again, and it's worrying time for them. But I think for what's happening below them down the table, they will still stay in the Premier League next season, but they need to get a win quick and fast.
All right, let's look at other results quickly. A beautiful goal from Alex Iwobi.
Very beautiful. And, it was a top performance from Harry Wilson, and the goal was just fantastic. A layoff, and was just in the corner of the net.
There's not so much buzz about Harry Wilson, but you look at the start for this young man. Aside from Erling Haaland this season, he's missed the goal contribution, and I think this man should be talked about.
Yes, he's been talked about in some quarters, but it's his first season at the top of the log, and everybody's just seeing for the first time. Clubs will be wary of snapping him up, just because of a season performance. You see, he has a chance to improve on his performances, and for what he's doing right now for Fulham, he's a very important player for them. In and amongst the goals for them, if he doesn't score a goal, he's the one dropping in assists. He scores SPTs. He's dropped stellar performances all season long. So for Harry Wilson, he's having the form of his life, the season of his life. The best goal returns for him this season, the best assist return for him this season, and the club are enjoying him. So is one player to keep an eye on for Premier League clubs and in the transfer window, and for other leagues in and around the world.
Beautiful. All right, let's look at the fixture.
And as well for Thomas Tuchel going into the World Cup. This is a World Cup year. His performances can make him
maybe
get a space for him in the English.
Hopefully. I don't know. I'm really buzzing about some teams, making up that 25 list. But England will be one I'll be looking forward to.
It's always been a debate and a controversial one anytime it drops, because the amount of players we get to see in and around the Premier League. So it's one of the most watched league in the world. So you expect there to be players are saying, okay, I'm supposed to be a part of this, but at the end of the day, there's a certain number of players that will make it to, and everybody has a chance to prove themselves in between now and the end of the season that the list is going to drop. So there's still chance for them. They are close to the running, and everybody has a chance to prove themselves to Thomas Tuchel going into the World Cup.
And some will be praying for some key players to have injury. Maybe that will be a replacement for them.
That's
life.
One man's
that's life, actually. Talking about one man doing fantastic is Antoine Semenyo getting the goal and all 3 points for Manchester City. It's either hook or crook. It's a must-win to the end of the season.
Yes, for Manchester City, they had to win the game to put up the pressure on Arsenal over the weekend, and they did just that. And Semenyo is proving the right man for Pep Guardiola right now. He had a problem with Alan not scoring goals, and at the end of the winter transfer window, he made sure he got Antoine Semenyo from Bournemouth, and he has seemed the right bargain for them, banging in goals left and right. And yesterday, when Erling Haaland wasn't around on Saturday, he got the goal for them late in the first half, and that seems to get the 3 points for them. So for Semenyo, he's enjoying life at City, a continuation of the stellar performances had with Bournemouth coming into Manchester City now. So good one for Man City, and they piled up the pressure on Arsenal again before Arsenal extended their lead back to 5 points yesterday against Chelsea. For Manchester City, it's all to lose. They have 5 points or potential 2 points between them and Arsenal. They see the game against Arsenal at the Etihad, so it's still something to look forward to between now and the end of the season.
Beautiful. All right, quickly because of our time, let's have that. Wolverhampton Wanderers, like I said, these teams, Burnley, Wolverhampton Wanderers, would actually give some team a run for their money, and they did that against Aston Villa. It's been struggling time for Unai Emery. It's not working yet for him for some few games now.
Yes, for some few games now, and that has seen them. They've not won in about 3 games now, and that's worrying for them. It's seen them drop to 4th position right now on the log. with goal difference in Manchester United, same points Manchester United, but on goal differences they are below Manchester United, and this was the most shocking performance or most shocking result for me over the weekend, because I didn't expect Wolves, even if they were going to win. The performance from Villa was very awful, but Wolves relegation confirmed, but there will be a turn in the side, like you said. They've dropped from Arsenal, they dropped from Manchester United. Now they're going to Aston Villa again. We have to see who is the next victim from Wolverhampton Wanderers before the end of the season.
All right, who's the next victim is the question, but we're going to see that Everton, won the game against Newcastle 3-2, a victory expecting for David Moyes side against Eddie Howe.
I wasn't expecting this victory for Everton, but they turned up at the end of the day, and it was a beautiful performance. One of the best games from the weekend. Goals left and right. Pickford making a very vital save from Sandro Tonali towards to confirm the 3-4, and Everton were resilient. Yes, Newcastle tried to get back into the game. Everton just had the answers to all the questions they provided at the end. It was exciting to see. For neutrals like me, it was time of one match I wanted to see. I wanted to see goals left and right, and that provided that for me. And for Newcastle, it's worrying times for them. They don't seem to coordinate themselves defensively, and that's a problem for Eddie Howe and his side. Yes, they have the physical players in the midfield, and going forward, they score lots of goals. But in the defense, they have loads of problems, time and time out, and especially on the home front, they've lost 3 games at the tiny side right now, so that's worrying for them, and they have the next game against Manchester United right at home too. That's going to be a problem for them to contain a high-flying Manchester United right now. So between now and end of the season, they need to find a situation that's going to contain the defensive problems they have, and they also have the Champions League to contend it as well, so against Barcelona. So for Newcastle, looking forward, they need to fix their defensive problem. For Everton, very good victory for them. It's propelled them to 40 points and cemented their Premier League status next season. So good one for them, and on to the next one for Everton.
All right, let's just look at Manchester United victory. You have it, Liverpool picking up the victory
West
Ham.
Fantastic. They were disappointing, and it was just awful to see that a team that prepared the low block against Manchester United and against other top teams came out against Liverpool at Anfield, exposed themselves, and Liverpool dished them out, diced them out, and they got the victory at the end of the day.
Beautiful. Manchester United against Crystal Palace 2-1. Bruno Fernandes, Benjamin Sesko, and Lacroix getting a red card and also the goal. But all 3 points for Michael Carrick.
Yes, all 3 points for Manchester United. Michael Carrick, they have a problem now with starting the game on the front foot. Like I said, against Everton, they started the game slowly. It affected them a bit, but they were able to paper over the cracks and get the victory. Now against Crystal Palace again, a team that played on Thursday in the Conference League, they couldn't find their foot early. Mistakes from Euro, Dalot almost cost them 3 points, but Manchester United came running back in the second half. Lacroix, even though he got the goal with a looping header in the first half, he was unable to continue that from. He made the foul against Kuna that got him the red card. Manchester United capitalized on that one-man advantage and gave Michael Carrick his 7th victory out of 8 matches. Sesko got in another winner for him. He's on the form of his life right now.
All right, beautiful. Let's just talk about Arsenal and wrap up the show. There you have it. Thank you so much, my producer, giving us that update from Benjamin Sesko. A good one. But Arsenal against Chelsea. Whew, did you enjoy this football? I don't know. It's 16 goals from the corner for Arsenal. I can understand that if you don't achieve this season, it becomes a problem. So they're doing it anyway to get all 3 points. But come on, it's becoming a very boring game at the end of the day. For you,
I'll still keep asking the question, is this the best football Arteta can provide? Yes, they're doing it anyhow just to get to the end of the line, yes. But this is not the best football Arteta with the type of players he has in his coffers. For Chelsea, it was another disciplinary issue for them yesterday. Pedro Neto was shocking. He was asking the fourth official if he had gotten a yellow card before. That's surprising for me. You're a player, you're not being disciplined enough, and there are pointers from media pinpointing your team for being not having discipline. This is the 7th red card for a player on the field. The coach had to Enzo Maresca.
It's 9 all of a sudden.
Enzo Maresca had 2 red cards. So that's to show you that there's something going on in the back room. And for Chelsea, this is the 3rd game on the bounce. They failed to win. They've had 2 draws, and this has seen them drop to 6th position. Worrying time for them. Still stuck on 45 points. 3 adrift Liverpool on 45 points. 6 behind Manchester United on 3rd position, and Villa on 4th position. So they're separating themselves from the chasing pack, looking to get the Champions League ticket next season. But over time, I think they will still get it around and turn things around for them, because this is the first loss for Liam Rosenau. He had some players out. Cucurella was out. He couldn't galvanize Estevao and all. Palmer is not in the form we know him to be. But for Arsenal, it was the most winning game for them. I expected them to get the victory. This is the 11th time they've defeated Chelsea in the last 11. In the last 11, they've not lost to Chelsea.
Yes,
in the last 11 times they've played against each other. So Arsenal are in the form of their life right now, and they need to keep winning the games. Thick and fast is coming. The running is around the corner, and for them, they're looking at Man City behind them. They need to get the things done, and they got it right yesterday. On to the next one for Arsenal.
On to the next one for Arsenal, and definitely we're back here tomorrow to discuss some of other major stories making the round in the world of sport. And that is your Monday morning sport wrapped up right here on Dominion TV. We have had the Premier League title drama, Nigeria League shocks and thrills, and stories that set the tone for electric match across the football and wider sport. Stay with us as we continue to track the MPFL title fight, European action this week, and the key narrative lines shaping global sports. I am Paul Abetoluwanimi. I urge you to enjoy your Monday and keep the passion burning. I'll be right back to talk more of sport. Bye for now.